Hello, everybody. Sage here. I wanted to do a Riley Strain reading. Um, so I want to start this off, saying, of course, all alleged, my opinion, not facts. This reading. Um, Also, I want to remind people about the free reading giveaway. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. And you will need to pick a number between 1 and 500. And you'll do this in the community section under the title, advertising for the contest. And if you want to know, any tips and tricks on how to play this game that we're doing for the free reading, watch the video for it that I made. But make sure you don't put your choice in the comments section of that video, please. All right. So I'm pretty sure everybody has heard of Riley Strain, but I'll just do a recap. So Riley Strain is a college student from Missouri, and him and his buddies, his frat buddies, on March 8th, they traveled from Missouri to Nashville, Tennessee. I don't know if it was that date that they did, but what happened to Riley happened on March 8th. So anyway, they were all out drinking like, young kids. I mean, he was 22. Riley was 22 years old. I'm sure his frat buddies were around the same age, there and abouts. But anyway, so they were out drinking, bar hopping, and so Riley ended up getting escorted out of one of the bars, and this was like shortly before 9:45 p.m. on that night. And so he told his buddies, I'm just giving you the recap. There's other stuff that happened. You're going to need to look it up if you want to know the full picture. So he ended up telling his buddies that he's going to go back to the hotel. Well, he ended up taking a wrong turn, and he veered, I think it was left instead of right, to head to the hotel. Well, anyway, he went the wrong direction. And so there's like footage of CCTV footage that Riley was seen on. He was stumbling, totally uncoordinated, and struggling off and on, walking to where he thought his hotel was. And it's just kind of odd to me because it's super early in the evening that this is happening to him. And I know, frat, kids, and they like to, I was young once, they like to drink and whatnot. But he called, or did he call? He did some, I don't know. He messaged his mom or called his mom. I think it was call, and told her, earlier that evening, he was like, yeah, having fun. And he ended up mentioning that his drink tasted like barbecue. And mind you guys, it was a rum and coke that he had ordered. They established it was a rum and coke. So, and even with a blood alcohol level that could be pretty high. I mean, it was pretty early in the night. I mean, I sure can't wait to see what his BAC comes back, from his autopsy. But anyway, he was really struggling. I mean, he was holding his head. He was trying to keep like upright. You could see this on CCTV, and it's just bizarre. It's really bizarre. Maybe, I'll see in the cards here, but maybe I don't know, just something seems pretty off to me, especially after he complained to his mom that his drink tasted like barbecue, you guys. All right, so fast forward, they couldn't, he was missing. So on March 22nd, found um, they found him in the Cumberland River. Now, mind you, you guys, this is so bizarre. Without his jeans, that also had a belt, is without his wallet. Now keep that in mind, without his wallet and without his cowboy boots. Okay, you guys get this. His bank card was found elsewhere. You got to look this up if you don't know. This is just insane. So anyway, let's moving on. Also, now this is not totally unheard of, but because it does happen. There was no water in his lungs. And it doesn't happen often, guys, but it can. So um, I'd also like to bring up, many times this can happen when someone's head is being forced under the water. Your throat closes up, you're trying not to breathe, and it just kind of spasms into that place, and it's called a dry drowning. It closes off your airway, it's horrible, but that's, what happens sometimes. Also, there was no trauma on his body, none. And where police have said that he had most likely took a tumble, it was very steep, it was riddled with rocks, and if he took a tumble down that, where they thought he did, his body would have most likely have received some trauma to his body. This is pretty steep, and it's a long, hill area. So anyway, all right, that's the small little recap. You guys definitely have to check it out further. So let's do this. I did shuffle a little bit before I began this reading, so I'll just do a couple more. Riley Strain. Riley. Also, you guys, because I do have people that will ask me off and on, that I'm using the Marie Lenormand deck. It's called the Bluebird deck. And I use the Grand Tableau spread. So I'm just using all of the cards. I never reverse them, because the way I read them, I can reverse the readings or the patterns of it. It's hard for me to kind of explain, but I utilize patterns with my readings. And the symbols on the cards, in relation to the patterns, the meanings can change. It's just what I've developed over many years of using this deck. And I do have a video on how I've done how I do my readings, if you want to check that out. Also, I utilize channeling. Like, what I'll do is, I'm able to, many times is, it's like the spread kind of opens up my third eye, and I'm able to see like snippets of pictures and little movies in my head on what's occurred. Again, I'm not going to say that I'm like 100% accurate. I'm just telling you what I see, and I'm interpreting what I see, and we'll just go on from there. So, all right. Okay. So already, I'm kind of seeing I just want to do a verification that this is Riley. There's a coffin at the corner. Next to the coffin is the cross. And that can mean that this is a deceased person. Outsmarted by a fox, which gives me chills, and I'll tell you why later. I gotta tell you, he almost didn't go out that night. He was thinking he wasn't going to go out that night because he had a bad feeling. All right. Oh, okay. So, oh, all right. Okay, so you guys, I really had a bad feeling about this, and it's really, I got to tell you, I probably should have brought up um, my the software to talk, spirit talk, the spirit talk deal, because it's like he is really wanting to be heard. This is okay. So, this guy. All right, Riley, and I suspected this. I felt it. I smelt it. If there's anything I know, and this is my opinion. This is what I know. I know the work of someone that's done this before, and I hate saying the word serial killer because it strikes fear in people's hearts. But I gotta tell you, I feel like this has happened many times before. Um, and this kid was another victim. And all right, I also have to mention something too. This guy that did this, and I really, he is very cunning, very cunning. This guy, this serial killer. So, um, he studied. Okay, this is what a lot of and maybe they're catching on. I don't know, but like the police departments, investigators, they feel like there's always got to be a common denominator with a serial killer because there's always that modus operandi, how they do it. Well, this guy switches it because he's learned. They're learning to adapt, you guys, because there's all these books out there now regarding, what these serial killers do, and they perseverate on those books. They read them religiously and they reread them. And they're starting to learn from other serial killers' mistakes. And so that's what is happening. He's not, what this guy is doing is he's mixing it up. But the one thing he does keep as a common denominator is someone at a bar. There's a couple things. Usually it's men that are found in a bar that he finds them in bars. He prefers college kids, and he loves to dump them in water. Okay? And I see this guy, I mean, he just thinks that he is going to get away with it for forever and ever and ever. And by the rate he's going, it's going to be a while before law enforcement catches up with him, because they need to understand that there's not this serial killer is someone that is very smart but has studied and changes things around, and he likes to mix up the scenes. Okay, like with Riley. All right, so the card, okay, the debit card, right? the debit card was found separate from his wallet, but his wallet was never found. And that was like purposeful. That was something purposeful that he did to mix things up. Just little things, and he knows it throws him off. Okay, and it's this guy has he's young. Well, I say younger, but I'd say that he's in his late 20s, early 30s. He started doing this, I would say, and I'm terrible with time, and I'm gonna apologize, but I really feel like this started happening like in like 2020, 21, maybe 22, but it's like in the early 2020s, and it's just going to get worse before it gets better, you guys. It's uncontrollable for him. Um, his motive is, um, he's, like a closet homosexual. He doesn't, he was grew up in a family dynamic where his dad was like an alpha male and talked badly about homosexuals, and it, which is terrible, really. But um, that's just kind of that was his mindset, and um, he was so polarized inside of himself. Anyway, this guy, I don't even know if this is making any sense. I'll have to do a playback on this, but he, like I said, he's like in his late 20s, early 30s. He'll travel around, but I got to tell you, he's mainly based out of Texas. That's where he's usually he does all of this is in Texas. Oh my God! And you guys, so I'm wondering if he has anything to do with like the Lady Bird Lake. Guys, I just got chills. Oh my God, I want to cry. Um, so, uh, oh my God. So, the Lady Bird Lake, um, um, drownings. Look them up, you guys. Uh, I really feel like this could be a connected thing. I really do. Yeah. Oh, I just feel so icky. So this guy, I'm going to try and get back on track here. He's, what I see in my mind's eye and what he looks like. He's got curly hair, and it's brownish. It's brown hair, curly brown hair. And his eyes are like a really light color, a striking like light blue or a light brown. They're just light. I mean, when I'm like a really light color, and they're disconcerting when you like look at him in his eyes. You can't look in his eyes for very long, and you could tell that there's like something really off by this man. He's a loner. Um, he um, like I said, he's smart. what he is using is like a roofie mixture, but he uses something comparable to it, but that um, autopsies he feels like they won't find if they don't look for it specifically. And and then he'll drug their drink, and then he follows them, he hunts them, and then when he feels like he's safe enough to do something with these guys, like in an isolated area, that's when he does what he does with them, and he throws them in the water, but not without like doing different things with them, like with Riley taking his pants and belt and boots off, um, and he took his wallet too. Those ended up being discarded somewhere else, and like in a dumpster far, like miles and miles away, miles away. Um, he It's like he stalks him, like he'll hone in on a guy in a bar, roofies his drink, and then stalks them, follows them. And he's hidden, but he's not far away. And in Riley's case, I feel like he was in a vehicle, like circling around, and keeping his eye on him. Um, and um, I really feel like he put Riley in a vehicle and took him somewhere else. Um, I don't. I really feel there definitely. I really, really feel like there is a connection with the Lady Bird Lake drownings. I really do, you guys. Um, but and people will tell me, "Oh, you should tell law enforcement." They don't listen to. They really. Some do, but they most of the time they don't. They don't listen to psychics. They don't listen to people like me. And in all actuality, um, they they already feel I feel like they already know that people think this way about there being a um, you know, serial killer that's at Ladybird, but they keep discounting it because to them there's no common denominator. Or maybe, what, that's just what they're telling people and they are looking into it, but they don't want to, freak people out, which is a very big possibility. Because you guys, I have a lot of faith in, I really do. I have a lot of faith in our law enforcement and detectives and whatnot. They're smart, smart people. But anyway, well, wow. Well, thank you. Thank you for watching. Um, give lots of prayers and thoughts to Riley Strain's family, and let them please find some peace. And Riley Strain himself, send them, all of them, love and light. Okay, everybody. Well, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later.